and all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, you, get back here." So I turn around, these guys are talking to me. So I go back there and they're like, "Put your hands on the hood." I put my hands on the hood. Well, they're at the back of the back of the van. So when I put my hands on the hood, they're like, what do you think you're doing? And I said, "I'll put my hands on the hood." They tell me, no. You gotta come back around here, put your hands on the trunk. So I went around and put my hands on the trunk, they started frisking me. Then they asked me, "Where's your ID?" And I told them it's in my back left pocket. And at that exact moment, I realized that's where that fucking joint was that I got. And I was like, "Oh shit, no, it's in my back right pocket, yo." So they grabbed my ID, they grabbed my wallet. The first thing that they asked me was, "Where did you get your forges from?" And we're in Texas, and I've got a Texas ID, I've got a birth certificate, and a social security card. And I told them, I was like, "Well, I got it from the DMV." So they got me in cuffs. They got me in the back of the INS truck, and I'm almost like on my way back to Mexico. I gotta find the first coyote to bring me back across. And I talked them into letting me call my dad, who was on the army base, like in Van Horn, which is like a 5-minute drive away. So my dad comes back and he shows them the birth certificate. His ID matches my birth certificate. So they released me into his custody. The thing is after they released me into his custody, they show us a picture of the guy that they think that I was. This guy, I swear to God, was 6 foot 3 inches tall, bald, tattoos everywhere, holes in his ears, and I don't know, I'm a pretty dark person, but I don't even speak Spanish. And the only thing me and my dad could think of was they thought that he was like 63 inches, which is still taller than 5'5". Right? So that's the story of me almost being deported.
63 inches is 2 inches smaller than 6'5".
Okay. So my next story is the first time I tripped acid in San Francisco. All right. I might not be asked back after this story. So I'd been living in Venice Beach for a while, and I figured, I've never been to San Francisco, I gotta go over there. So I get to San Francisco, and my parents, they had just gotten back from there. They were like, "You gotta go eat at this place called Kate's Cafe. They got this thing called the French Toast Orgy." So I went over there and I got the French Toast Orgy, and it's like 8 of the biggest pieces of French toast you got with like everything you could ever imagine on it. So I eat that, and then I'm like, you know what, I gotta go over to Haight Ashbury. So I go over there, and I meet this Yugoslavian, and he gives me some acid. So after I take the acid from the Yugoslavian, I find this giant hill to go and drop the acid on. After I walk up to the top of the hill, I see this guy in like a cat in a hat and like this like tattered like 80s Michael Jackson beater jacket. And he jumps on his skateboard and he goes, "Have a nice trip." And that was the kicker for the trip to kick in. So nice. At that point, I'm like, all right, it's San Francisco, it's 8 o'clock at night, I need to find a place to like stash my stuff and go walk around so I don't look homeless. So I find this place called 17th and Clayton, and there's a hotel that's overlooking a cliff. So I'm able to put my stuff up underneath this apartment complex. Now at the bottom of the hill, I see all these pretty lights, and unbeknownst to me, nobody ever told me about Castro. Alright? So I'm like, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna see these lights. So I go down to Castro, I'm tripping balls, and I don't notice anything out of the ordinary at first. What's going on is everybody's just joyful and happy and having a good time. So I'm thinking to myself, it's San Francisco, I'm in a great place, I need to go find a souvenir. So I walk into a head shop, and immediately I am taken aback by the 8-foot tall pictures of dick everywhere along this head shop. It's like, y'all remember that artist from the 60s that would take the weird pictures of like the Beatles and make them in different colors and everything? There were like very artistic pictures of Dick everywhere. And so I went up to the proprietor of the store and I asked him, I said, in the most polite way I could, I said, is this a specialty store? And he looked at me and he goes, this is a specialty neighborhood, but it's not as gay as it used to be. And at that moment, I kind of realized that this wasn't just a head shop. It was like a S&M head shop, you know, kind of deal. So I politely leave, and as I leave, I notice everything. There's these giant billboards, and they're advertising this app called the Bear app. And the Bear app is if like I was gay and you were gay, the phone would beep and be like, there's a bear next to you. And on this billboard, it was this big burly biker guy and this like itty bitty, like, if you've ever seen Police Academy and they're at the Oyster Bar, it looks like somebody like that is up on the is up on the billboard. So I get lost and I'm trying to find my way out of here. Well, all of a sudden there's a theater and this hand pops out of the corner of the theater and it's just abrasions everywhere. It's just disgusting. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm telling you this. But he comes out and he pops out of the corner and he's like, change? And it scares the living shit out of me. So I cross the street and I get to this bar and I've got to take a piss really bad. And I go into the bar and I say, I don't have any money, but I really just need to use your bathroom real quick, if that's okay. So I go in there. The bar is so unbelievably small, you can probably fit like 15 people on a stool inside the bar. And they show me to the bathroom, and the bathroom is like half the size of a normal stall in a bathroom. And I'm thinking to myself, tripping balls, this is like a closet. So if I owned this bar, I would name this bar the Closet. And as I'm leaving, and I tell these people thank you, I look out to see the name of the bar, and I swear to Christ, the name of the bar was the Closet. Alright? So, after this, I'm still not able to find my way out of this one, like, 2-block strip of Castro, and so I find a comic book shop. And in my mind, there's nothing more heterosexual than a comic book. And I'm going to this place and I'm expecting to see X-Men, Superman, Spider-Man, you know, very, like, manly kind of things, you know, something to make me comfortable. And first thing I see when I walk in is the two guys from the Bear app billboard are sitting behind the counter. Alright? And okay, so you got the Bear guy and the little chaps, but you got this little like nerdy guy who looks like Rick Moranis is sitting on his lap. And so I'm looking around, I'm trying to find comic books. This also is a specialty store, and there are no real comic books. It's all like Fucktora the Gay Robot Orgy Series 1 kind of comic books. And, but if you looked around long enough, you would see that they would have the action figures hanging from the ceiling. Like they would have Spider-Man, Aquaman, Thor, Loki. They'd have all these people in like dressed up in S&M clothing for action figures hanging from the ceilings and like little sex swings and stuff. So after my mind has been completely blown, I walk outside and I finally find my way out of Castro. But when I tell my friends the story the next day, it's almost as if everybody in the world knew but me that Castro was this alternative area, and the joke was on me because I somehow was not aware that San Francisco was this haven for the alternative lifestyle. And I've been back since. It doesn't really it doesn't really have that shock value to me anymore. But at the same time, they still have those billboards for the Bear app. So if you're ever out there and you're at 17th and Clayton and you look down, right where the BART station is, there's a billboard and it's the Bear app. I swear to God, you gotta check it out. But my best friend in the world, Brian Verano, is up next, and he is a master hypnotist. And I'd like to have a round of applause for Brian coming up.
Give it up one more time. Coming next, we got something real special. We never had this before. We're gonna ask everybody just lend an ear. Maybe if you guys want to get in on the show, come a little closer. We have the Hypnotic Hurricane coming up. Hypnotic Hurricane.